Hello everybody, it's me Sam here and time for WoopaGaming, and today we're going to be showing you the Prism plugin for Bucket by Bots.go.net and Nathan Fish. So Dan, what does this plugin do?
Well, the Prism plugin is the ultimate grief management. It includes rollbacks and restores for your server. It's amazingly fast, versatile, and apparently a pleasure to use. It tracks 65 plus events, boasts a vastly superior rollback engine, and offers tons of extra features.
Okay, cool. So lots of our subscribers have recommended this in the comments. Cook Plays MC, I think.
Yeah, Cook Plays MC, I saw the comment, I was like, yeah.
Okay. So this is similar to Logblock and Core Protector, if you've seen these videos. It's a basically rollback plugin sort of thing. It uses MySQL and SQLite. At the moment I'm using SQLite because it's just easier to set up. But I'll run over the config after this video. So, say your players are building stuff, deleting stuff. They build houses, they grief and stuff. So this is a house that me and Dan made.
Of course. Fantastically made.
And just like the other plugins, if you've seen them, you can have a wand. So this wand will allow you to look up data about a certain thing. So to do this, you do PRI, and it will enable the inspection wand from where you're looking at. Okay, so to use the wand, simply just left click on the block and it'll tell you the history of the block. So you can see there, inspecting the wood planks at the location, Sam Kyo placed the wood planks an hour ago. And I can also right click the side of a block to see if there's deletion of a block, for instance. So in here, I can right click here, no found. But if I place this and destroy it, this is the area of this block, so I can right click on this side or on the top of the sand.
Oh, if you click the sign as well, it gives you some detail about what's written there.
Okay, I'll do that in a sec. So you can see there, inspecting this area of where the block was, I broke the wood planks, or I placed it beforehand and broke them. And like Dan said, if I right click the sign, or left click, sorry, you can see that you placed the sign and also what you wrote on it. Okay, so also notice these A and then like in brackets break, place, change. So these are actions. Okay, so whenever an action occurs, it will tell you what the action was here. So for instance, Torrent placed it first, so the action was place, and then you wrote on the sign, so the action was change. Now these actions will come in handy in a lookup function, which I'll go over in just a sec. Okay, another one we can do is look up or Prism near, which is similar to the inspection wand, but it will do it for like an area around you. The default,
that's cool.
The default is 5 blocks. You can see here like all the additions. Torrent wrote on the sign, placed a sign. That was the most recent, so it comes at the top. And then you've got me placing wood planks and.
That's really cool how it's got little like plus and minus signs for if you like destroy or play something.
Yeah, it's quite good like that, so you can easily see. There's also, obviously we've got 8 results here, so we can go to the next page by doing PR page and then the number, so PR page 2 to see the rest. We can also go back and do PR page next and PR page prev for previous and the next one. So that's how you can go through each pages. We can also do is teleport to certain locations. So you'll notice these grey numbers in the square brackets. Say you want to teleport to a certain change was occurred nearby. We can do PR, TP, and then the ID or the index.
I'm stuck inside the house.
So I'm going to go 1 because that's where the sign is. It'll teleport me to the location of the sign change, which is right here. Also, one thing to note with the PR near, you can also define a radius. So, for instance, 2. It'll do all 2 blocks with view, so it won't obviously show absolutely everything. If I go over here for instance, it couldn't find anything. But if I go slightly nearer, a bit nearer, there we go. We can see the houses changes to the database. Okay. Also, what I said as well was the lookup command. So this has a lot of parameters associated with it. and I will provide a link to all the parameters in the description. So for this, all you need to do is PRL and then the list of parameters. So first of all, we define what we want to look up. So we want to find all the changes in this area where people have just broken blocks. So I can do a colon break. So this is a parameter. So the parameters are, for instance, actions, the radius of you're looking up, like you got the block names and IDs, any entities, the time, so an hour ago, 2 hours ago, and you've got different player things as well. So I just want to find all the things that Dan has broke in the past 2 hours or so, shall we say. So I'm going to define the parameters a break, p xtorrent, and then also time 2 hours. So 2h. Hit enter, and I can see all list of all the entries in the database where Torrent has broken blocks. So you've broke 5 sand blocks.
Indeed.
And you've also broken 8 wood planks.
Such a grief.
Yes, you are. What we can also do is add also extra parameters which we can exclude an action, player, or entity. So for instance, instead of searching for things which Torrent has done, we can search for things that Torrent hasn't done. So we put an exclamation mark in front of his name, and we can see all the stuff that I've done now, because it's removing the stuff that Torrent hasn't done, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think it did.
Okay. So that's the list of all the things I've broken. And as I said, there's a lot of actions and parameters. You can see that in the link in the description, which I will add obviously at the end. Okay, so that's the main sort of look up and seeing what's happened in the area. But say all this griefing and stuff, oh, you've griefed the house, for instance, Dan. Then obviously we want to roll back and stuff. Okay, so there's sort of 3 different things to roll back, and they're called appliers. We've got preview, roll back, and restore. The first thing I'll show you is preview. So preview command is very similar to rollback. You'll be able to see what the changes have occurred and then apply the changes. So the best way to do this is actually show you. So we do PR, preview, and then we can do rollback or restore, but we're going to have rollback, so RB, and then parameters. The parameters are exactly the same as what the lookup ones are, so you can use parameters for both. So let's just look at player, xtorrent, and then in time, say, what, 2 minutes. Let's go for longer. Let's just remove that.
Do 2 hours again, I'd say.
Okay. So that's done it for all time, actually. So you can see all the changes that Torrent has made in the past, well, since the beginning of time. And what it's done is shown us what will happen if we roll back. So if we don't want to roll back, we can just do Prism, preview, cancel. Or prime, put in. And it will roll back your changes. Well, it won't roll back your changes. Your changes haven't been rolled back just yet, but that's sort of a preview. So I don't want it to roll back that far. I just want to make sure all these things are removed. So let's do that again, but this time at the time, let's say 10 minutes. It's not working the time. 2 hours. Okay, for some reason the time isn't particularly accurate. I believe that's a problem with my configuration, but you'll be able to do it to much more strict increments if you've got it set so. So the changes I'm happy with, so I'm going to roll back, so PR, preview, apply, and now your reversals have been set in stone.
Oh. Nice.
Yeah. I can also do that straight off by just doing PR, rollback, and then parameters. So if I know I just want to sort of change your things back like that. And I can also restore. So say I've done a rollback and I don't like what I've done, I can do PR, restore, and then parameters again. So player X on, and it will roll back all your, or restore all the rollbacks. So you can see now it's added all the sand gaps, the problems with the house and stuff. So that's how you restore and roll back. Again, you can preview a restore as well, just like you would a rollback. And all links to the web wiki and stuff will be provided in the description if you are unsure about something. Okay?
Indeed.
We can also roll back like single blocks, for instance, by doing PR1 roll back. We get the rollback run, so we can simply just left click stuff and it will roll back changes like so. As you can see now, it's rolling back every little change that's happened. It's changing the blocks to sand and not. So that's the rollback, and then I can restore it all like I would. PR restore. Let's do radius 5 for instance, and there we go, we restored it all. So it's very quick and easy to restore and roll back changes, as you can see here. So if you've got Prefish on your server, you can easily
yeah, that's pretty quick actually.
Roll back stuff. We are using SQLite. If you're using MySQL, then it would be even faster, in theory. So, in theory, yes. Okay, so that's the rolling back and you know, restoring and stuff. Okay, we can also have different one types. So there's 3 one modes: hand, item, and block. So the hand is just what its default is. It just shows you all the, you know, like lookup word just for the single block. Item allows you to set a default item ID as a 1. So at the moment, just using our hands, we can actually define a physical item. So let's what's a good item to use? Would you say a stick?
I don't know. I just typed in any random number and I got webs. So.
All right, webs. So let's do PR set my wand mode item, and it will change your personal wand to an item mode. And then you do PR set my wand item, and then the ID, which I don't know for stick, unfortunately. What's the ID for stick?
I have no idea.
Great. Let's just try stick. Failing that. Okay, so there we go. We can actually just type it in as it happens. That was lucky, eh? So now when I name my wand, PR wand. Oops. PRI, sorry. So I can have the inspection on the stick now. So I can left click and right click just as I would before. And I can also do that to blocks as well. If I want to reset any personal settings, I just do PR, reset my, and then wand. And now it will be server default. So if I do PRI, then my inspection was enabled. I can't use the stick anymore, and I can have to use my fist, which is the server default. And in the config you can change this, as I will go over later. Okay, so that's a bit about the wands. Lastly, just go over the extra features. So you notice that when you place lava, let's place lava again. So when you're placing things like
really bad placement,
lighting fires, placing TNT, pistons, etc., it will alert. This is configurable. You've also got ore alerts as well, which is useful for spotting X-rays and stuff. So if we get some ore, let's see if this works. It probably doesn't help that I'm up.
Yeah.
And not using the pick, but if you were to get a lot of ore quickly, it would notify you. We've also got EX drain and stuff. So this can be used for pools and stuff. There we go. Experiment found 7 gold ore. So we can do PR, X, and then the radius. Oh, drain, sorry. PR, drain. Oh, drain water. You know, drain all the water near you. And then, if we don't like what we've done, we can just do PR undo. Which didn't seem to work. Oh, I need to do the actual ID as well. So what's that one? ID. PR ID is 0. Okay, so that's that. We can also extinguish, so if you set something a light down.
Use that sort of follow with you.
If you'd like to do the honours. Oh. So we can just do PR, X, and then the radius, so like 20. And it'll extinguish
that's handy.
anything. So, yeah. We can also drain water, and we can also drain lava, as is shown here. And we can also do chunk boundary view. And this will put glowstone to preview the areas of chunk. So for instance, PR view chunk, and it will show you the boundaries of this chunk I'm in at the moment, represented as the gold here. And then we can just type it in again to remove. And finally, we have the last command, Prism delete and then time frame. So PR delete and then time frame, so like 2 hours. 2 time frame. Interesting. There we go. So you have to press T thing, and it will purge any items in the database from that time. So there we go. It will purge anything from the database. If your database is getting too long, you can manually delete stuff. It's not always necessary, because it does actually delete stuff automatically. Okay, so that's the main gist of the command, and the end of the tutorial. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. This has been me.
Yeah. Just before you end, sorry, Sam.
I normally say, do you like to add anything, but I forgot.
Yeah, just a few words from me and Sam. We apologise for the absence. I know it was a month and a half, I think.
Yes.
Exams are now finished, and we hope to be in full flight.
Yep.
If you could say so. Posting videos frequently a week, and yeah, we want some requests from everybody. What plugins we'd like to see. We really want to get around to doing a load more videos. So let us know.
Indeed. So thanks for watching. With me, Sam Kieran, WoopaGaming, signing out.
See you later, guys.
Hello everybody, I'm now going to quickly go over the installation and configuration for the Prism plugin. So link is always in the description. Here you can find information about the plugin. If you'd like to click here, commands, and you can see all the list of commands, and you can also see all the wiki installation and whatnot for the Prism plugin. I will provide a link in the description. Here you go, here's the home page, very similar to the bucket page. Obviously download link up here, and you should get a .jar file. Yep, Prism version and then whatever version, and then simply, as always, drag and drop that into your plugins directory. And then obviously run the server and stop the server to create this Prism directory, and it should have a config.yml. Now, sometimes on your first run, it won't create the Prism.database, or it won't hook up to the database, and you might get loads of errors. That's because you need to configure your database first before it all works and whatnot. So, for instance, when I started up first, obviously my SQL didn't work, so I had to change it to SQLite. So let's open the config.yml and quickly go over this. Okay, so here's the main sort of plugin, Prism, and all its configuration. So debug, so if you want to put it in the debug mode, unless you know what you're doing, probably keep this as false. Newer versions, true or false, so it will notify ops if a newer version of Prism available. Allow metrics, so this allows the developer know what's going on and whatnot. You can set that to true or false. Okay, so you got the database. For this, you can use SQLite or MySQL. So if you're using MySQL, obviously you need a host name, the username and password, the name of the database, and what port you're using. I will not go over this, as if you have MySQL, you should have all this information depending on your server or your server host. Alternatively, you can use SQLite, and you just have one configuration, which is enable delete limit. So whether or not you want to use the delete limit to true or false on this. Okay. Finally, we have the ones. So we've got the default mode, which is hand, which you can have as hand, item or block. So this is the default one mode, and then the item mode ID, which is default 280, which I believe is the stick, which is the ID we forgot. But you can just use names, and then the block as well, 17. Auto equip true, so you notice when we typed it in, it would automatically made us have it. You can set that to true or false there, and then user override as well, true or false, whether you want players to set it or not. You've also got the ignore actions, the chat command, join and quit. Obviously when you're doing blocks, obviously the block doesn't affect what they're chatting on or commanding, so it will ignore these actions, and you can add them or delete them. All the action list will be in the description. Queries, default radius. You'll notice if I just did, for instance, PR near, it just did a 5 radius around me. This is the default radius it will do. The default time as well is 3 days. You can change that to how many hours or so. And then you got the max lookup radius, so 100, and the max results 1,000 here, and things like this. And also default results per page and whatnot. Yeah, so here as well, the default radius is 5, and the max results. So if you're not using any parameters, it will use these parameters as the main sort of defaults for it. X and drain, so these are the draining of water and lava. Again, max radius and default radius, and then extinguish, max radius and default radius. Okay, you can also choose to ignore players in creative mode, so when they destroy stuff and break stuff, it won't log them. And again, you can add players' names. So for instance, Savio, you have like admins and stuff here, and stuff. Or players you don't want to be logged in. They could be very trustworthy players, for instance. And worlds, if you don't want it to apply to certain worlds, which will obviously make up storing stuff a lot quicker. Database records purge, so it will purge stuff after 8 weeks or so. And then water flow for 4 weeks. You can add different actions here. So for instance, you've got the actual water flow for 4 weeks, and then you can add more and stuff. Really like more about this is actually on the wiki, so if you're interested about this, have a look, and I'll provide a link. Again, you've got the purge. You shouldn't have to worry about that too much. Appliers, these are the rollback, the restore, and the preview. So rollback items removed from containers, which are true or false, when you want to remove items from containers and stuff. Whether you want to notify nearby people and stuff. Fire and burn, and fire and explosion rollbacks, and stuff like this. You also got tracking, so you can set the true or false the things you want to track. So obviously it's a good idea to have block break and block use and block place, for instance. Are the things you generally want to have being logged. But obviously if you've got databases, they're filled up, you've got a lot of players, for instance, then you may want to turn some of these things off. Alternatively, you can turn some of these things on. For instance, player joining, player quitting are not turned on. You might want to set this to true so you have a complete log of what is happening on your server. API, so there are 2 plugins, Dark Mythos and Prism API Demo. These do use the API for Prism, and then you can either set to true or false, and then whether or not the plugins that can have it. You've got some commands that you can't track, so for instance vanish, login, change password, register, unregister. Obviously if they're typing in their password and stuff, then you may not wish to track that. Alerts, so if you remember when Dan got placed lava and stuff, and destroyed ores and stuff. So for instance here, 14 and 15 are gold and iron ore. You've got the colour codes here as well. So if they're mining too many ores, for instance, then it will tell them they've mined too many, well, mined a lot recently, so you can see for X-rays and stuff. Any illegal commands as well, you can set that to true or false. By default it is false. And then again here, uses all the uses of lighter, whether or not we want that to be logged, and have notifications and alert on the chat. And then you've got obviously the item placement, so there's lava buckets and stuff here. And then you've got vanilla X-ray, whether or not to use that true or false. Okay, so that's that. I believe that's the config. Obviously you'll have a Prism.database if you're using SQLite. So thanks for watching. This has been me, Sam here, and WoopaGaming, signing out.
Yes, this plugin allows you to shoot potions with arrows. It's kind of a unique idea, I think. So the way it works is when you have your bow in your hotbar, or your inventory bar, whatever you want to call it, you want to make sure any of the potions you want to use are directly on the right. So Sam, whereabouts do you have your bow at the moment?